Hey, I'm back here today, and and I want to be consistent on trying to kick out some videos in here on every Tuesday, and so that's where I'm back. I don't really have any updates after yesterday's crop report. Okay, and we put stuff out in our daily advisory report. But the one thing that we got some questions on here yesterday and even today is, at what level would we look at selling some grain, and why do we want to be so aggressive for selling grain in here, either during harvest or post-harvest for Dec, Jan, Feb delivery? And the reason why we want to be more aggressive is there's just really no carry in this market. And as you can see in front of us here, yesterday we had Dec corn close at $6.96, March corn at $7, May at $6.99, July at $6.84. The market's not paying you to store this grain. On beans, it's pretty much the same thing. We got a $14.88 Nov bean, Jan beans at $14.92, and getting out to July at $14.83. So the market is saying, hey, we're not going to pay you to hold this grain past the March time frame. And that's why we're going to be more aggressive with pricing this inventory out in here as we move through harvest, because there is just no carry that these markets are offering us. So what do we want to use as some price objectives? We think after this report in here right now, this 15 to 15.50 area, November beans, is a pretty good target to make some sales. We visited the lower end of that range in here today. And so if you're behind on sales recommendations, you probably want to push this thing along a little bit more. This report does offer a support, but unless we have major crop issues in South America, a sustained move above 15.50 seems unlikely. Looking at Dec corn here quick, our sell range on Dec corn is 7 to 7.25. Similar to the bean side of it, we probably need some major weather issues in South America to get this thing to accelerate higher. What we need to remember on corn is we're not competitive on the world market. That's why our export pace has slowed down, but the USDA already really has that in the supply-demand table with a big drawdown in exports this year compared to what we have in years past. We think the wild card on a potential bullish move in the market's still going to go over on the wheat side of it, mostly because of the war going on between Russia and Ukraine. If we can push above 950 in March KC wheat, 975 to 1050 looks to us to be a targeted range. Why we don't think there's a major push above 1050 is our initial war response back this last spring. The market stalled out, in that 1050 area here as you look back. So that's what we're kind of looking at on the wheat side of it. As we want to wrap up today, there's just no carry in this market. That's why we need to look at making sales for fall delivery or even early winter. We're going to target selling for that Dec to February time frame. If you are bullish, you can look at reowning, futures, calls, or call spreads, just depending on your risk tolerance. And if you want to reown on beans, we probably at least get out to the March or the May contract. Well, that gets you through the entire South American growing season. On corn, you may want to step all the way out to July so you can get through our planting season here and the majority of the South America growing season. We've had a number of questions about basis improvement. We think it's going to be more regional. Okay, the basis improvement, if you're in the Southwest Corn Belt or Western Corn Belt, you probably can see some basis improvement as we're going to get corn pulled down that way. If you're in the Eastern Corn Belt or even up in the Dakotas where there's a decent crop, a basis improvement seems a little bit less likely that way. We briefly mentioned demand reduction. Keep in mind that this last USDA report had corn demand down 475 million bushels versus the previous year, and bean demand down 34 million bushels. So we're already focusing on some demand reduction, and the USDA has that in place. The one thing I got to encourage you all is if you have some questions in here on selling grain or looking at a potential reownership position, feel free to give us a call to discuss your current situation. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.